What's going on, people? This is Brian Zeke, aka Franchise Play, and we got a new trailer for EA Sports UFC 2, and it's time to break that bad boy down. We've slowed it down as I've started to do lately. Go ahead and please leave me a like for this video. I'm going to break down, just give you my thoughts on it. The video talks about, or the trailer talks about career mode and the online championships and the changes that they've made. So let's start off with the career mode. First and foremost, you can go through the career mode with an existing or an existing UFC fighter, male or female, which is different from this year, and you can create a fighter, male or female, which is also different. Couldn't do that before. You still do start in tough at the Ultimate Fighter. So that's something that people may or may not like. I think it's cool, but I feel like they maybe should have done a few different things with the, maybe do something where you have like you actually exist in the tough house or something like that, just to add a little bit of something to that. But maybe next time, not this time. I did like they have a new system that they're adding in here. It is the fight offer system. So you get offers essentially to fight this person, fight that person, which is pretty similar to how it actually works in the real UFC. And you have to accept or decline, and it's like you're strategically planning your career to a degree. We'll see how that actually functions, because a lot of times we hear about features like that in games and sports games, and they don't actually function exactly the way they sound. So I'm hoping this one is a little bit different. You can take short notice fights, which I thought was a pretty cool concept, and it's said to be a risk reward type of a thing with it. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's not like I just mentioned, with those things that sound a little bit different than they actually turn out to be. But supposedly, if you take a short notice fight, you obviously have less time to prepare. But you can get offered a really awesome opportunity to really move up in the rankings, increase your popularity. So that's cool. They have all new training, which I think this is really super important for any boxing or MMA game, because oftentimes training becomes something that you just blow off in a sports game, especially a combat sports game. I really want to see a game create a training situation or training mini game of some sort that feels compelling, like you need to do this to make sure your fighter stays where they need to be, but also something that keeps your interest. Which obviously that's a much easier said than done task, because I really haven't seen it done a lot. So that's that. You can enhance your training intensity, and there's risk reward for that as well. So if you train too hard, you might wear your fighter down, or you can even get an injury during your training that you'll have to carry into the fight, which I think is really cool. I think it would be even cooler if there's a visual presentation aspect to it. So if you favor a certain part of your body, maybe obviously you're not gonna come in there limping, because you probably wouldn't be able to fight. But if you hurt your leg and you get caught with a couple leg kicks, then quicker, you start to limp a little quicker than you would have normally. I'm hoping that's the way it works, but we'll see. There are progression updates after each fight result. So that's another cool aspect. Let's talk a little bit about the online championships, which that last specific or detail is actually more or less relating to. Last year with online championships, you had to win 10 fights to upgrade like your belt status or whatever. And if you lost an important fight, you kind of went back to ground zero, which I think was maybe frustrating for some people. So now you do have the progression updates after each fight. And so you're getting more graded on each fight itself, rather than this almost like a 10 fight system, so to speak. There is a title chase and a featured fighter system, so you can actually chase specific divisional titles, and if you win, I believe they said it's 5 or 10 fights consecutively, you put yourself, or you get yourself distinguished as a contender, and you actually literally have a championship fight online against the person who's a champion, and it's a 5-round fight, which I thought was pretty awesome. What I also think that does, check it out, it really could somewhat lay the groundwork for an esports type of a feel with EA Sports UFC 2, which is something that I don't think anybody has really talked about, but that is the way that we see a lot of games going right now, because there's huge money in esports, and I would love to see some traditional style sports games actually included in esports. I'm not knocking the Hearthstones or the StarCraft 2s or the League of Legends. I'm not knocking those games at all, but it is called esports, so it feels to me some games that are actually depicting sports should be in that under that umbrella as well. So that I really like the title contender situation. I hear a lot of people, criticizing EA Sports UFC 2 based off of the beta. People are saying, it's pretty much the same as last time. I think conceptually it is very similar. I do think that there are times where you see guys take way too much damage. It's not realistic, but there is definitely a line to walk. Sometimes I think people believe they want ultra realism in a video game, but if they actually got what they wanted, it may not be as much fun as they think. But I do believe that the developer should trust the gamer, at least to the point where you give them a slider set, or you give them a setting to play on. And I actually suggested this to EA. Give a setting called ultra real or hyper realistic, to the point where you are literally playing where if you get caught one good time, that's a wrap. Now you have this other modes where it plays the way it plays now for people who want more of an arcade experience. But I just wonder, what would it hurt to have an ultra realistic setting? And you actually could even market it. You can be like, hey, you know what? Are you a real hardcore MMA gamer? Then this is the mode you're going to want to try. You're going to want to try your hand at ultra real mode, or ultra realistic, or ultra simulation mode. And you know what? It would be interesting to see, is it something that people really dug? I know I would definitely give it a try because I'm intrigued by it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I played it and I was like, ooh, this is maybe a little bit too real, to the point where I'm not really enjoying it. But I would still like them to trust me enough to give me a try and play it that way. So, that's just a thought. Just kind of going along with some of the things that other people were saying. But that, like I said, it's just a thought. But I do appreciate you guys watching. You stay tuned for more information, as this game, we're less than a month away from the release now. So we'll see what happens. Expect some coverage from me when it drops. Also, stay tuned for more information on the new channel. I appreciate you guys going to subscribe, the ones who have gone to subscribe. Everything's going to flip for me the week of February 28th. So you're going to see the steady stream of videos back on this channel as well as on the new channel. I appreciate you guys watching. God bless you. Peace.